Shri Guru Shri Juta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavangscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathan Tang Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lalita Sri Visakhanvitam Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Rama
Hare Krishna. So we'll chant the Jai Radha Madhava prayers first, and then we will recite the Bhagavad Gita sloka. So you can all repeat after me the Jai Radha Madhava prayers. Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everyone. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jayo Krishna Balaram, Jayo Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Jayo Krishna Balaram. Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai. Jayo Lakshmi Narasimha, Jayo Ananta Dev, Lakshmi Narasimha, Jayo Ananta Dev. Jayo Srinivas Govinda, Jayo Srinivas Govinda, Jayo Srinivas Govinda, Jayo Srinivas Govinda. Jayo Jayo Prabhupada, 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 Jayo Jayo Prabhupada. Jai Shri Shri Krishna Balaram ki. Jai Shri Shri Nittai Gauranga ki. Jai Shri Lakshmi Narsimhadev Anantadev ki. Jai Shri Srinivas Govinda ki. Vishwaguru Srila Prabhupada ki. Nittai Gaur Premanande. Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. So today we'll be discussing from the 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. It's text number 17 displayed on the screen. So everybody please repeat after me. Yuktahara viharasya. Yuktahara viharasya. Yukta chetasya karmasu. Yukta chetasya karmasu. Yukta swapnava bodhasya. Yukta swapnava bodhasya. Yogo bhavati dukkhaha. Yogo bhavati dukkhaha. Yuktahara viharasya. Yukta chetasya karmasu. Yukta swapnava bodhasya. Yogo bhavati dukkhaha. So we'll read the word to word meaning. So please repeat after me. Yukta, regulated. Ahara, eating. Viharasya, recreation. Yukta, regulated. Chetasya, of one who works for maintenance. Karmasu, in discharging duties. Yukta, regulated. Swapna avabodhasya, regulated sleep and wakefulness. Yogaha, practice of yoga. Bhavati, becomes. Dukkhaha, diminishing pains. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Abhay Charnaravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Translation. He who is temperate in his habits of eating, sleeping, working and recreation can mitigate all material pains by practicing the yoga system. So please repeat the translation. He who is temperate in his habits of eating, sleeping, working and recreation can mitigate all material pains by practicing the yoga system. So I'll read the purport. Extravagance in the matter of eating, sleeping, defending and mating, which are demands of the body, can block advancement in the practice of yoga. As far as eating is concerned, it can be regulated only when one is practiced to take and accept prasadam, sanctified food. Lord Krishna is offered according to the Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavad Gita 9.26. Vegetables, flowers, fruits, grain, milk, etc. In this way, a person in Krishna consciousness becomes automatically trained not to accept food not meant for human consumption, or which is not in the category of goodness. As far as sleeping is concerned, a Krishna conscious person is always alert in the discharge of his duties in Krishna consciousness, and therefore any unnecessary time spent sleeping is considered a great loss. A Krishna conscious person cannot bear to pass a minute of his life without being engaged in the service of the Lord. Therefore, his sleeping is kept to a minimum. His ideal in this respect is Srila Rupa Goswami, who was always engaged in the service of Krishna and who could not sleep more than 2 hours a day, and sometimes not even that. Thakura Haridasa would not even accept prasadam nor even sleep for a moment without finishing his daily routine of chanting with his beads 300,000 names. As far as work is concerned, a Krishna conscious person does not do anything which is not connected with Krishna's interest, and thus his work is always regulated and is untainted by sense gratification. Since there is no cushion of sense gratification, there is no material leisure for a person in Krishna consciousness. And because he is regulated in all his work, speech, sleep, wakefulness, and all other bodily activities, there is no material misery for him. Thus ends the purport. Om Agnanatimirandasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitanyena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktarunda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So this is from the 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. The chapter is known as Sankhya Yoga. So in this chapter actually Krishna talks about the process of yoga, and just few verses before Krishna is actually talking about the process of the Ashtanga Yoga, or actually the Dhyana Yoga. You know that people generally, when we come across the word yoga means somebody is like meditating or something. Sometimes there are these yoga centers or yoga sessions. They will ask you to meditate, and it's good for your physical well-being as well as ultimately spiritual progress, right? So there are so many versions of yoga that have come about. Every yoga center everywhere, and they're saying so many things. So what is the authority? What is Krishna actually saying about yoga, right? So there are a few verses before this verse which are very apt to recollect or to read, because what we're doing is we're covering the prominent verses in Bhagavad Gita, right? Last week the verse that was covered was the 6th verse. Now here we are at the 17th verse. So the 6th verse, it was talking about the mind, how one should control his mind, and one whose mind is controlled, the mind is the person's best friend, and an uncontrolled mind is a person's worst enemy, right? So Krishna is talking about that, and then later he speaks further. So let's read, I'll just read out the translation, so we can see the flow of how Krishna talking about the mind, how he's talking the next level about this process of yoga. So Krishna is further saying that one who has conquered the mind, the super soul is already reached. So how important is this? Super soul means Paramatma, attaining the state of self-realization. So the importance of being able to control the mind, Krishna is emphasizing here that he's saying one who has controlled the mind, the super soul is already reached. Why? For he has attained tranquility, and to such a man, happiness and distress, heat and cold, honor and dishonor are all the same. So actually, if the mind is controlled, none of this can cause a problem. The so-called happiness, distress, heat, cold, honor, dishonor. I'm sure many of you might have seen some yogis. Sometimes there were videos, WhatsApp. He was like a yogi. He was just wearing very small, like a cowpin, and he was in the snow. He was just holding a stick, and he was in the snow. And how is he able to tolerate all that cold, right? Definitely there is a level of practice involved. At the same time, there is the ability of the mind also. So I forget, was it Hitler or Napoleon? He got a surgery done, and he told the doctor that, the doctor said, okay, I'll have to give you anesthesia. I think it was operation on the stomach area or something. He said, why this anesthesia? He said, so that you won't feel the pain, when I do the surgery. He said, no, that's fine. Don't give me. I will tolerate it. And the doctor said, are you sure you will tolerate this? I mean, we are going to really cut apart, a part of your body and do the surgery. He said, that is fine. And he was not given anesthesia, and very surprisingly, he tolerated it. It was such can you imagine a part of the body being cut and surgery being performed? He just tolerated the pain. So what does that mean? That means the mind has so much power. You can control, if your mind is strong, you can control any difficulty, right? You can control any difficulty. And if your mind is not strong, if you just let loose the mind, our Madhu Pandit Prabhu gives a nice example. It is like an amplifier. It will amplify. Oh, the problem more is in the mind. Like he was giving a practical example of, getting an injection. Your mind amplifies it. Oh, injection, this is going to be painful. And before even the doctor takes out the syringe, you're already starting feeling so much anxiety and, fear of pain and the needle and poke and all. And finally, when the needle touches, your mind amplifies it. Here it is, here it comes, the needle is going to poke you. Obviously, there will be some pain. And the moment it is, and your mind convinces, see, this is it, this is the pain. And it becomes like, oh, too much pain and all this anxiety, right? So actually it's the mind. I'm sure again there are some videos of a small child getting an injection. I don't know how many of you have seen. There was a small doctor, right? Doctor who treats small children. He was giving some injection to the child. So he was simply, first before giving the injection, he was playing with the child. He was playing, he was tapping his nose, touching his hand here, there, making his laugh, tickle here, there. And while he was doing, slowly he took the injection with the left hand. He was doing like this. And then suddenly he just poked like this. The child barely felt anything. He just felt little. He just looked at him for a second. And then again he started continuing his play, touching here, tapping and making some sounds. The child continued to smile. Now can you imagine? Small child, because the mind was conditioned, it was not amplifying that there is a problem. Generally what will happen, they will hold the child tight and the child is already uncomfortable and he knows something is happening. The doctor comes and needle, injection, so much panic. So it is all in the mind. So if you can control your mind, if you can train your mind, what will happen? Just like the child did not feel difficulty, or even injection, the same thing Madhu Pandit Prabhu told his practical experience. He told the doctor, I'll be just looking at something. Don't tell me when you're giving injection, right? You keep talking or whatever, I'll be busy. You just go ahead and give. Don't give me any notice. So he was doing something, he was going through, and suddenly the doctor gave injection. He barely felt anything. It was just like a small pin prick, right? So, but it is the mind. If you can control and train your mind in such a way to not unnecessarily amplify, because the mind is expert in amplifying. Oh, so much fear, like they say, FUD, fear, uncertainty, doubt. It's all the mind, that aggravates. So it's very important to control the mind. And if you control, what happens? Krishna is saying, happiness, distress, heat, cold, honor, dishonor, everything is tolerable. Everything is tolerable. It's all in your mind. Sometimes, dishonor happens. It is the mind that totally, amplifies it. Oh, how did he say that? And then all kind of thoughts in front of so many people. The last time I treated him so nicely, he's making fun of me. It is the mind just totally. But if you just ignore, it's like, that's okay, who cares? After some time, the person might realize they themselves might say sorry or not. Because in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't really matter. You were respected somewhere, you were disrespected somewhere. What you have is with you. Nobody can take away, right? So now the question, then the next thing comes, how can we make this mind strong? Okay, this is very nice. Krishna is saying, a controlled mind, a strong mind is good. So Krishna, next verse, he actually further says, how can this happen? He says, a person is said to be in the, established in self-realization and is called a yogi when he is fully satisfied by virtue of acquired knowledge and realization. So this is the important thing. Such a person is situated in transcendence and is self-controlled. He sees everything, whether it be pebbles, stone or gold, as the same. So how can the mind become strong? Krishna is revealing here that it is by virtue of acquired knowledge and realization. So there is generally a sequence, a hierarchy. Many of you already might have heard about this, right? So there are the senses. Indriyani para vyahur, the senses. Indriyabhya para manaha. Above the senses is the mind. Manasastu para buddhi. And beyond the mind is the intelligence. And above the intelligence is the soul. So you can control your senses with the mind. We talked about it. If your mind is strong, like if you're mentally prepared, sometimes, like, are you ready for this? Sometimes they're mentally prepared. This is going to be difficult. Are you ready? Can you handle it? Sometimes they go for these competitions and all. Yes, bring it on. Whatever it is, I will do it, right? So what is happening? The mind is prepared. And whatever difficult situation, they're able to handle. But if the mind is not prepared, unknowingly something suddenly comes up, they become panicked, right? So we saw that, by a strong mind, you can control your senses. You can control the, whatever is happening with your senses. Now, how do you get the strong mind? Because senses are inferior to the mind. Mind is able to control the senses. So something superior than the mind is what can, set the mind in the right situation. And what is superior to the mind? As we discussed, it is the intelligence. So intelligence is superior to the mind. So there is a sensual level, there is a mental level, and there is an intellectual level. Now intelligence is superior to the mind. Now somebody, so how is intelligence, how do you gain intelligence? What is this intelligence? Is this some magic? Suddenly somebody becomes intelligent? There is no magic. It is just your intelligence is defined by the knowledge you have acquired. Right? A person who is well, knowledgeable, he has high intelligence. He knows what is right, what is wrong. Just like, somebody is driving. If you have read the driver license book, if you have gathered enough knowledge, and then you can drive very carefully. And even if there are cops and radars and all the kind of monitors, you will never get a ticket. Somebody will say, oh, you're very intelligent, you're driving very nicely, you never got a ticket. He says, I've read that book. If you know if you have enough knowledge, then you can navigate. So the mind can be strengthened by intelligence, and the intelligence is powered by knowledge. And this is what is important, getting the right knowledge. And that is why here today we are sitting and discussing, we are getting the right knowledge from Bhagavad Gita. Who is the best source of the knowledge? Who can give knowledge? Who is the better person than Krishna, the Supreme Lord himself, who has created this entire universe, right? So that is why Bhagavad Gita is so important, because there is knowledge everywhere, right? Even in newspaper it is knowledge, even WhatsApp, Instagram, social media, everywhere it is knowledge. Everybody is speaking. It is some kind of a knowledge. But what is the best knowledge? What is the topmost knowledge? That is in Bhagavad Gita. Why? Because the topmost, the supreme person is speaking. And then what he's saying, with the knowledge, what happens? Natural side effect of knowledge is you will start applying the knowledge. And once you apply the knowledge, that is when you can become, realized, and you can even control the mind. So that is the important thing, controlling the mind and then a knowledge. So once you have the proper knowledge, what happens? Krishna is further saying, he's said to be further advanced when he regards everyone. So if you have the right knowledge, what will happen? You will regard everyone, the honest, well-wisher, friends, enemies, envious, pious, the sinner, and those who are indifferent and impartial with an equal mind. Because when you are in right knowledge, what happens is, just like a doctor, when he sees different patients with different diseases, he does not discriminate them, though they're all very different, because he knows they're all diseases ultimately. And otherwise everyone is supposed to be healthy. By default, the natural position is everyone is healthy. Everyone should be able to walk, talk, move around, run and everything. But in the hospital, when he's going in the ward, he sees somebody is able to walk, someone not able to walk, somebody is able to talk, not able to talk, somebody is able to move, not able to move. But does he actually treat somebody who is almost walking very nicely and somebody who's on the bed very, badly, like this person, no movement? No, doctor knows it's all disease, different levels of diseases. So in the same way, when we acquire the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita and our mind is strong, what we see everyone around us, even it is said, the envious, the pious, the sinner, we will all see with an equal mind. What is that equal mind? Just like the doctor sees. What are we seeing? The doctor is seeing the diseases of different people. So the equal mind, one who has knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, how he sees equally? He sees that these are all different diseases only. If somebody is dishonest, it is a disease. It is a disease, it's called, this is all comes under the Bhava Roga. It is a disease that the mind has got influenced by some kind of negative opinions, and he has become dishonest, or he has become untruthful, or things like this. But it is all the disease. That is why Krishna, other place he says, Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavi Hastine Sunichaiva Swapakecha Pandita Samadarshinaha. See, he is actually seeing everyone equally. Sunicha Swapakecha, and then even the Brahmana and the Pandita, everyone he sees equally. Means the dog eater, a Brahmana, a Pandita, everyone he sees with equal vision. What does he mean equal vision? Does he treat everyone as Brahmana? No, he sees the soul in everyone's body, and everyone's activity, everyone's work and everyone's behavior is based on their different bodily, like a disease. It is a material disease. So all these things, the honest, the dishonest, the truthful, untruthful, the envious, the pious, the sinner, it is all diseases only. Only if their disease is cleansed, only if their mind and heart is cleansed, that this is not good for me ultimately. I'm cheating so many people, I'm hurting so many people, I'm acquiring all this in dishonest means. Honestly, I will accumulate bad karma, and I'm suffering, and I will suffer more. The moment they realize all this, they will actually stop giving up. So what is the disease? The disease is of actually ignorance, lack of knowledge. So that is what is the equal vision that one gets. And then the next verses, Krishna very specifically speaks about, he is told about the mind and knowledge, and what is the state of mind and state of his existence. Here he talks about this Ashtanga Yoga, the yoga practice, that people do meditation. There are so many kinds of meditation we hear. Some people say look at a lamp, somebody say look at a red light, or this, close your eyes, or focus on a finger, all kinds of things. So how is this meditation actually should be done? So who is the best person to decide how it should be done? Obviously Krishna. He is the one who is the Yogeshwara. All yoga, everything is to connect to Krishna only. So he has given this process. So he says, how this, we are talking about this dhyana yoga, the Ashtanga yoga, where we see people sitting and meditating. How should that meditation be done? So Krishna is saying a transcendentalist should always try to concentrate his mind on the Supreme Self. That means on the Paramatma. Clearly he is saying the Paramatma. Right? Supreme Self is none other than Lord Vishnu, Lord Narayana. It is said one should meditate on the form of Lord Narayana, Paramatma, in the heart who is as the super soul. And how should that be? And then he should meditate, he should concentrate on the super soul. So not a lamp or a paper or a dot or a bulb or anything. It is the Paramatma. You should meditate on the super soul. So that means you should have enough knowledge. What is the super soul? How does he look? In the Bhagavatam, there is description of the super soul. The super soul, the Paramatma, is not just a simple form of the Lord. Very elaborate details are given. That he is very beautifully decorated. He has the Kaustubha jewel. He has holding, this Shankha Chakra Gada Padma conch, lotus. There is a chakra and there is the club. And then he's wearing yellow garments. He's wearing Vaijayanti Mala. It is said he has curly hair oiled. And then he has beautiful earrings. And his forehead is so beautiful. He has a beautiful, mukut. Like this, all details are given. So very beautiful form of Lord Vishnu. Just like we see Vaikuntha Ekadashi, we are displaying Lord Narayana's picture. Balaji, we have here Srinivas Govinda, right? Exactly like this. All description is there. So all these deities are not made out of somebody's imagination. These are based on the Vedic descriptions, how the Lord is in the heart. So one should meditate on that form. And then how he should be? He should live alone in a secluded place. So if you sign up for a yoga, session, you go do some meditation once in a week or, once 1 hour in a month and living in a city and all, that doesn't work. Why? Krishna is saying you should live in a secluded place and carefully control his mind. It's not like, okay, you attended yoga, after that your mind, wherever it dictates you, okay, go watch a movie, eat in a restaurant and do late night party and all. That doesn't work. Your mind should be controlled, right? He should be free from desires and feelings of possessiveness. See, what are so many preconditions are there? Not just sitting and meditating is not sufficient. Krishna is putting the bar is very high if you want to do that. So further Krishna is saying to practice yoga, one should go to a secluded place and should lay kusa grass on the ground. Now he's saying what you should do, like we see, right, forest or somewhere, go to the forest or mountain somewhere and you should lay kusa grass. Specific grass also Krishna is mentioning. Why it is said actually if this grass you have, some kind of insects and all the other things won't come. And then cover it with a deer skin. Again, deer skin also it is said, if you have that skin, the saintly people, they carry the skin with them and they set it up and they sit and they do meditation. Again, same thing, it will actually repel some kind of rodents and all other insects and all. So it won't disturb them when they're doing this meditation, right? If you're in a forest, if all kinds of insects are coming and biting you, how will you meditate on the Lord? Not possible, right? So he's saying that. And then he says, the seat should neither be too high nor too low. Right? So where are you seated? You not go sit on top of the mountain, then the beautiful view, like our Goshala Bay area we have here, right? Very nice, you will be distracted with the view, right? So not too high. At the same time, not too low also, Krishna is saying. And should be situated in a sacred place. So that is why people we find in Haridwar, Rishikesh, all these holy places, the saintly people will find, not anywhere and everywhere. So you should go to sacred place and then the yogi should then sit on it very firmly and should practice yoga by controlling the mind and the senses. So this is how they should practice yoga, purifying the heart and fixing the mind on one point. Fix on the one point, but you're meditating on the Lord. And Krishna further says, he says one should hold one's body, neck and head erect in a straight line. Head, neck and body like straight line. And stare steadily at the tip of the nose. See, at the tip of the nose. What does it mean? Your eyes are like half closed. Because if you're completely open, you'll again get distracted by what's happening around you. If eyes are completely closed, you'll fall asleep. So Krishna is saying you should stare at the tip of the nose. Now you can all try after you go home. Try staring at the tip of your nose. How long can you do? Very difficult, right? So it is not easy. And then thus, with an unagitated, subdued mind, devoid of fear, completely free from sex life, one should meditate upon me within the heart. See, Krishna very clearly saying one should meditate upon me within the heart and make me the ultimate goal of life. So this is how the Dhyana Yoga or Ashtanga Yoga. Now you know from the source. If anybody says I am doing this yoga, that yoga, you at least in the mind, back of your mind, you should know the perfect way of doing yoga is that. But then in this time and age, it is not possible, because when Krishna spoke all this towards the end, Arjuna says, Krishna, what are you saying? How will I do this kind of meditation? So it is not practical to do that. It was possible in Satya Yuga. Why? People were living for 100,000 years at that time. It was possible in Satya Yuga. This kind of meditation was done by sage Valmiki Muni. So before he wrote Ramayana, before he became self-realized, Narada Muni actually gave him instructions. He told him to meditate on the name of Lord Rama, and it was said he meditated for 60,000 years. Completely incomprehensible. That means so much time it takes, this process, not easy. But in this day and age, not possible. So that is why, Krishna, every end of every chapter, he tells, don't worry about all this. I will tell you one simple yoga that is the best. In the end, he says, after telling all this, Arjuna says, oh Krishna, I can't do, what is this proposal? It says, mind is so flickering. What are you saying, Krishna? Look at the tip of your nose and meditate on me. Chanchalahi manak Krishna. He says, it is better to control the wind than the mind. Can we actually control the wind? If the wind blows, actually very difficult. He says, even that might be possible than controlling the mind. Mind is so flickering. It is said, like sometimes they measure the mind, the thoughts, they say like TPS or TPM, the thoughts per minute or thoughts per second. They have come up with some number like hundreds, it is in hundreds. So in a minute there are only 60 seconds, but your mind is capable of generating hundreds of thoughts. Like they say like 400, 600 TPM. How? Because the mind, that's how the mind is. Immediately if I say blue car, you all will think of, a blue car, and then say no, on a mountain. The mind can make so many, not on a mountain actually, under a tree. Immediately the mind can keep on giving all kinds of inputs, right? So that's why that is not easy. And then, so Krishna mentioned about that. And back to this verse over here, Krishna is now talking about, okay, that is for that. But for every kind of yoga, there is something very important. What this dhyana yoga that Krishna is mentioning, as well as any other yoga, like Krishna always says bhakti yoga, because towards the end of this chapter he says, yoginam api sarvesham matgata antaratmana shraddhavan bhajate yomam same yuktatama mataha. So he assures Arjuna, don't worry Arjuna, of all the kind of yogis, yoginam api sarvesham matgata antaratmana, if you're always thinking of me, shraddhavan bhajate yomam, with faith, and if you're worshipping me, same yuktatama mataha. So he's telling Arjuna, don't worry, if you're, in the mood of thinking of me and worshipping me and trying to fulfill, please me, and in that mood, even if you're fighting, you're still the greatest yogi. Same yuktatama mataha, he says. So why that is called bhakti yoga? We all talked about, what we talked earlier was dhyana yoga, but bhakti yoga is meditation and devotion to Krishna. And this dhyana yoga also, all these yogas are not like parallel paths. Many times we mentioned it is like a ladder, yoga ladder, right? There is the karma yoga, and then there is the jnana yoga, you acquire knowledge, and then dhyana yoga, you do meditation. Finally, it is bhakti yoga. Bhakti yoga is the highest state, that is the final state. And we have mentioned many times also. So you can directly go to bhakti yoga. Why? Can you jump over to the 10th stair in one shot? Not possible, right? People will say, no, you have to go through every step. It is possible to go to the 10th step if there is an elevator, right? Let's say there are some 50 steps to go up. If there's an elevator, you can directly go to the top, right? So that is what bhakti yoga is all about. It is the elevator process. So Krishna, he talks about different yogas, but then he keeps reassuring Arjuna, don't worry Arjuna, you are in the elevator. You don't worry about these different steps and all the challenges that are there. You keep meditating on me, you worship me, you follow my instructions. You work to please me, you're all set. That is what devotion, that is what bhakti yoga is, right? And here he's saying, no matter what yoga, the 16th and 17th verse that we read today, Krishna in the previous verse, actually what we read today, 17th verse, is a continuation of the 16th verse. In the 16th verse, Krishna is speaking very similar. He's saying, there is no possibility of one becoming a yogi, right? Any kind of yogi. How? Oh Arjuna, if one eats too much or eats too little, sleeps too much or does not sleep enough. So Krishna mentioned this in the previous verse. And then in this verse he's saying, and he's concluding, he who is temperate, right, who is regulated in his habits of eating, sleeping, working and recreation can mitigate all material pains by practicing the yoga system. So whichever yoga system you practice, right, you can, slowly you can mitigate all your miseries and everything. But the important things, there is something that we should do, right? There is a practice and there is a realization. You have to put something in practice, and the end result is you will get a realization. Like here in the purport, Prabhupada is saying that, there are some examples of how devotees have reduced their sleeping. He is mentioning about Rupa Goswami. He is one of our principal acharya. Actually, the whole Hare Krishna movement, the followers, the devotees in the Hare Krishna movement are known as Rupanugas. He's one of the first spiritual master of Lord Chaitanya. After Lord Chaitanya instructs the 6 Goswamis, and Rupa Goswami was very, a primary Goswami. So Prabhupada is giving example. He was only sleeping 2 hours a day. What was he doing remaining time? Actually, Rupa Goswami was given instruction by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to research through all the Vedic literatures and collect all the descriptions of the prominence and importance of devotional service. Because in the Vedic scriptures, everything is mentioned. Some things are lost. But just like Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is very clearly saying, become my devotee, do devotion to me. In the same way, it is not just Bhagavad Gita. Throughout the Vedic scriptures, there are references mention of the prominence and importance of devotional service, of Bhakti Yoga. So Rupa Goswami was given this task, and he has written so many literatures. Very famous is the Nectar of Devotion, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. He has collected all references from all Vedic scriptures of emphasizing the importance of devotional service. So Rupa Goswami was he was a very expert scholar. He was all day and night, he was working, going through all the Nana Shastra Vicharako, it is said. He went through all the Shastras and he has collected all this. We are so fortunate today, we are directly getting the the end result, is like final product. These purports are all inspired and given by actually these Goswamis. So he only slept 2 hours. But then we should not imitate. Now today if you decide, no, I'll also sleep 2 hours, go to bed at 10, put alarm 12, get up, and next day you'll become so tired and everything, right? So it has to be practiced. Slowly one has to practice. And how is that practice? Krishna is saying in a very practical way that you should not eating and sleeping. You should not eat too much or eat too little. Not sleep too much or sleep too little. These 2 things are very important for a good health also. Right? What happens if you eat too much? Obviously indigestion, and then the body will need more time to digest it. It is said if you eat too much, you will end up sleeping too much. If you sleep too much, you will dream way too much. And you will go into mode of ignorance. And same thing with the sleeping also. If you sleep too much, so what is needed is what we should do. And we should try to minimize. Because ahara nidra bhayamaithunamcha, these are all already, these are all actually the animal propensities. Unfortunately, all said and done, human body is also has a lot of animal propensities. Right? They say humans also have a tail, but then it became very short, like appendix, they say. Right? So a lot of animal propensities, animalistic tendencies are there in this body, and we have to, only human being can do minimize the animal tendencies. So the eating, sleeping, mating, defending are actually animal tendencies. Then what are human tendencies? Human tendencies is to minimize these and emphasize and tap into the potential of mind, intelligence, and ultimately utilize them to connect to Krishna, to become spiritual. Animals cannot become that. Right? So eating, sleeping should be regulated, and what Krishna is saying is that one who is temperate in these habits of eating, sleeping, working, and recreation. Even recreation also Krishna mentions here. He says, Yukta Ahara Viharasya. He says Vihara also. Recreation is also needed, but what kind of recreation? It should be sattvic, mode of goodness. Yeah, you can go for a walk, maybe a small sattvic sport, or do some exercise, things like that. So it's all good, nothing wrong. The key is this body. Prabhupada says, we all talked so much about the philosophy of Bhagavad Gita. What is the ultimate foundational principle of philosophy? That we are not this body, we are the soul. Right? We are Atma, and Krishna is the Paramatma, and we don't belong in the material world. We in the material world, the Atma is covered with a material body, and material body has all kinds of problems, birth, death, old age, disease, all kinds of diseases, everything, all kinds of miseries are because of the body only. If you analyze yourself, the moment in the morning you get up, after some time you want to do something, suddenly you start feeling hungry. So it's the body that is creating that. So you have to cook, you have to make sure you eat something. After you eat again, after some time you might become tired, you need to take rest. And then everything, all miseries, actually everything is because of the body. And as we grow older, we run into some health issues, health challenges. Even old people, the chronic diseases, these things never go away. Sometimes they say that is it, because of old age, your bones have worn out, you will have difficulty now walking, sitting. So what is this body doing? Giving us misery, little, and towards the end, only constant misery. So our whole problem is because we have a material body. Now that does not mean, because body is the problem, I have to end it somehow. No, you have to use the body to get out of this body. Prabhupada says a nice phrase. He says, best use of bad bargain. So this body is a bad bargain. It's like getting a bad car. Right? If you have a very good car, the ride will be very smooth. You have to go to a destination. Right? So if the car is very good, you can go very nicely. But just because you got a bad car, will you stop going to your destination? You don't want to be stuck somewhere else. Let's say, you have given your very good car for maintenance, and the dealer has given whatever it's called a daily, I forget the word, they'll give a car, you can take it around and you can come back, drop it off and collect your nice car. Let's say this car that was given has gone bad and has problems. You call them, they say, okay, please drive slowly, some problem is there. You bring it back, you can take back your car and please manage it somehow, and please come back. So our situation is like that. We got a bad bargain. This body is full of miseries like we talked. But its purpose is there. It is to go to the destination. Destination is to go back to Krishna, go back to Vaikunta. That is called as Mukti, attaining Mukti. So how you can go? Just like if you want to go back to the dealer to get back your original good condition car, it is this bad car only you have to drive somehow. Go slowly, put indicators, put blinkers, whatever, go in the right lane and go slowly. Somehow you go to the destination, you get your car. So our body is also like that. We should not be disappointed. Oh, I got a bad bargain. Oh, this body is full of miseries. Krishna is saying Dukkhalayam. Oh, there is old age, there is disease, there is death. It's not like you should not be disappointed and depressed. There is a reason. There is the body can be used to attain the ultimate body. That is the spiritual body. So in the same way, the best use of bad bargain. So we have to do bare minimum. Prabhupada used this phrase. He says, do whatever is necessary to keep the body and soul together. That is what. So whatever is the bare minimum we should do for the body. Okay, whatever food is needed, eat that much. Don't become overindulgent. Oh, let me enjoy more and more and more. It will only lead to diseases. And what will happen? You are missing your opportunity to go back to Krishna. Same thing, sleeping. You sleep more and more, you're losing opportunity. Rather, you sleep what is needed. Remaining time, you cultivate Krishna consciousness. You chant Hare Krishna, read about Krishna, do meditation, do service, connect to Krishna. There is so much knowledge Krishna has given. You can spread this knowledge. You can help others. You can teach others. You can improve yourself. There is so much that can be done to come above from the bodily platform to the mental, intellectual and spiritual platform. Right? So that is why this body, even though is causing misery, but it is the vehicle, it is the tool to be freed from all kind of miseries. And just like you have a bad car, it is still the bad car only you have to drive to go to the dealer and get your good car. So that is why Krishna is saying that don't be too much attached to the body, keep everything regulated. Whatever bare minimum is needed, do that. Right? What are the bare minimum things? Eating, sleeping, recreation, working, everything regulated. Not too much, not too little. Because if you do too much, you will get in trouble. If you do too little, also you will get in trouble. Right? So that is the key thing here. So the beats are being distributed. We'll all chant after some time. And Prabhupada gives so many examples. And so the key is to minimize. The key is to minimize. So we are eating something. If you're already eating properly, no need to minimize it anymore. But if you know somehow, they say if you hold your belly and you can hold your fat, then that indicates that, you're eating little more. So we are all, nobody needs to tell us. We all know whether we overeat or not. We all know whether we are satisfied and because of the taste we are eating. Because when we eat more, they say the right portion you eat, what is needed for you, it is actually for you. And when you eat more, oh, this is tasty, oh, this is nice. You eat more, they say that is for the doctor. Yes, when you eat more, you are not actually helping yourself, you are helping the doctor. So many of the diseases are because of overeating only. Overindulgence in either sweets or spice or this or that or some kind of thing. So when you eat more, so just eat for yourself, don't eat for the doctor. Don't eat the doctor will somehow, they will manage. But we don't have to be in that category, right? So in the same way, we have to regulate. We should see what is needed, just eat that much. Even sleep, don't sleep way too much. Sometimes I think if you sleep extra, that's a luxury. Oh, I have slept 10 hours, I sleep, all weekend I was sleeping. People sometimes proudly say, but no, that is an animal tendency. We have a great job, great responsibility in this life to come out of the animal tendencies and to become human and evolve to become superhuman, to go into the spiritual world, to connect to the Supreme Lord. There is so much homework for us to do in this life. We just can't be sleeping like animals. We have to connect to Krishna. We have to revive our lost relationship. There is higher happiness. There is definitely some pleasure, right? You sleep, you feel good. That is sensual happiness is less than intellectual happiness, which is less than, which is less than mental happiness, which is less than intellectual happiness, which is less than spiritual happiness. That is why it is said, Ramante yoginam anante. See, again, this yogi and all that, becoming a yogi is not that to become some kind of a, I can also take one beads. It's all the yoga is not like, oh, I'm giving up everything, I will become sad and morose. No, ramante yoginam anante, unlimited happiness the yogis will derive. Everything else limited. Like say food, you eat gulab jamun, rasgulla, 1, 2, 3, 4. After that, that is gone. You have to look for something else. You watch a movie or a show. After one, you'll say, oh, shall we watch the same movie again? You say, no. Let's watch something else. So these are all very limited and temporary, and you have to keep running behind one after other, and it won't satisfy you also. But when you become this perfect yogi, ramante yoginam anante, so unlimited happiness we will get. So that is why we should come out of the animal tendencies, and we should go further above to the spiritual tendency, the spiritual relationship with Krishna, and then we will enjoy unlimited. Ramante yoginam anante. Once Prabhupada was asked, what is the purpose of your Hare Krishna movement? Prabhupada said it is to enjoy and to be happy. People were surprised. They thought spiritual means, oh, give up everything, become something. He said, no. Everyone wants to be happy, everyone wants to enjoy, but we are showing the right way to do it and the right place to do it. Right? Anandamayo Bhyasa, that is the nature of the soul. We want to be happy. But because we don't know that there is a spiritual happiness, we are falling for lower levels of happiness, either sensual or intellectual or mental. Like sometimes he is eating food, sensual level, somebody is solving Sudoku puzzles, intellectual level, or somebody is maintaining some relationships and feel good. Feel good is all mental pleasure. But these are all inferior. There is a spiritual pleasure. When you connect to Krishna, when you serve Krishna, when you taste the bliss in chanting the holy name of the Lord, that is the highest pleasure. And that is what Bhagavad Gita wants. That is what all the great acharyas want us to experience. Right? So I'll stop here. So we will tap into the spiritual pleasure by chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. Again, by practice, anything becomes perfect. Day one, we might not relish the taste, but by practice, we will be able to, experience that. So we'll all chant. Before I chant, we all chant. I'll just quick announcement. Anybody coming for the first time? We have volunteers standing there who would like to give a nice gift. Anybody coming for first time today? Okay, so we have few people. So you can see that Mataji standing there holding that new visitors collect gift. Please make sure to see her, after the Arati and collect your gift. Hare Krishna. So we will chant the Hare Krishna mantra. Who has the keyboard? Prabhuji, can you help put up the mantras there? So we'll chant the Guru Pranam mantra, Panchatattva mantra. After that, we'll all chant the Hare Krishna mantra together. So the Guru Pranam mantra and Panchatattva mantra, please repeat after me. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Itinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. So we'll all chant together the Hare Krishna mantra, and we decided we should chant in a prayerful mood because this chanting is a prayer to the Lord to help us come out of all these inferior qualities and help us come to the spiritual platform. Right? So it's a prayer to the Lord to help us engage in His service. So let's all chant together. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna